What's up, everybody? It's your boy Marvin Melendez. You're listening to another episode of All My Friends Talk, where I talk to all my creative artists, advocates, and all around amazing friends. Man, this episode was really special to me. It is the first time that I've had one of my family members on the podcast. My cousin Hector is an incredible playwright who currently has a play called The Wendy House that is showing in Tampa. So for anybody who's in the Florida area, go check out The Wendy House. And he's also going to mention a couple different ways where you can stream it online. It's a great conversation on just acting, playwriting, creativity, hustle, just that artist mindset and getting your work out there. Anyways, excited for you guys to hear it and hope you enjoy. Thanks. Yo, what's up, Hector? How you doing?
What's going on, brother? What's going on?
You are the only other Melendez I've ever had on this podcast, the first family member on the podcast.
I'm on it, man. What took you so long?
Yo, man, I mean, listen, I'm doing my stuff. I know you busy, and then it's crazy. We got. I didn't realize how much family me you have that's into like the creative arts either. So it's wild.
No, it is wild because I started realizing like you and other family members like Adriana, and then there's a I forgot who she is. She won an Emmy. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people within our family that we do arts and we love arts, and it's cool though, and I love it. And then I think I feel like a stronger connection a little bit more with you too, because it's like when I saw you doing that, like, man, he's writing the way I'm writing. So, and I know you're doing things. I'm proud of you though. I really am proud of you, what you've done and what you're doing, and also like I just love the idea of what you're doing. I know it's not you trying to interview me, but I gotta give you your roses. I gotta give you roses before we continue. Like that, how you just you helping people and plugging their thing, and also giving them their exposure and what they're doing. So I've been paying attention. I'm one of your subscribers.
Yo, man, I appreciate that. I mean, wait, did I lose you?
No, I hear you. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You froze up for a second, but I'm sure it'll come back. But
yeah,
I mean, you gotta, the one thing about this, even like whether you want to call it industry, the arts, or whatever it is, I think so. I study this. I study other artists. I study other comics. Because I've been writing my stand up too. I've been writing. I do a lot. So the one thing I realized is in the past, there was only a narrow margin to get in, right? Like back in like the 70s, the 80s, even the 90s, you had to either get this person notice you, and then you might get on this show, and then you're going to get to this movie and things like that. So like it was this competitiveness back in the day where you felt like you had to like kind of step over the toes. Now it's the opposite. Like there's so many avenues people have to get their creativity out there, get their work out there. And if you're somebody who wants to hate on other people and not plug someone else, it's like you're gonna get the same energy you put out. You're gonna get that same love that you put out. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I do this for the clout. Like I'm not having you on for the clout. I have you on because we're family and I love you and I love the work that you're doing. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it would be wrong of me to chase my dreams and not show props to others who are out there grinding and hustling too. Like that's not that it's not cool. You know what I mean?
No, I'm on your boat. That's always been my mission. That's always been my mission. Always love to people. Always join people who has that mission. You get what I'm saying? Because it's tough. What we're doing is not easy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. What makes it so tough is because there's a giant cheese and there's like 50 million mouses trying to get to that cheese. And the things people will fight to get with it, to get to that cheese. For me, I'm tired of fighting. I've done that in my childhood, growing up. Now it's more about giving back and helping people. Like if you have the same hunger that I got, better than being competitive, let's work together. That's how I look at things. Let's work together into making this dream come alive. And I try to do that a lot. Even when I write for people, to help them out. Because And like I said, I'm in the same boat as you. I don't do things for the money. I already got a job. I do it
Yeah,
because I love writing. Do I want to make this a full-time job? I'll be lying and say, yeah, I would love to do
yeah,
this. I mean,
of
that's anybody
course.
who would love to do this as a full-time job. They're lying. But at the same time, once you got a security and you got your own family, you know, learn. I'd rather learn how making my craft get better, but also learn how to help people because that's what it's all about. Once you could help people, man, trust me, that could go a long way because you never know when if somebody makes it to the top and say, "Yo, I know this dude, let me get him." Same thing. That's
Right.
how I get known in life by just always helping and working.
Yeah, I mean, and I see you do stuff. I mean, you done it for me. Like, I mean, I called you up to help me out with issue I had with one of my movie projects,
Hmm.
and like you weren't getting, I wasn't paying you for that. Like we're at the time I was in Tennessee, so it was like it's not like. I mean, I'm sure you would if you could have just come up, but like at the time, like I was on time constraints. You were doing your thing. It's something like there wasn't any gain. I would say for you to call me up and help me out. You know what I mean? That was love. You know?
No, but that's the gain, right? I mean, if you look at it, that's the gain. I gain love, right? I mean, I make
Mm,
sure that the gain was I gave you knowledge. You get what I'm saying? Those,
yeah,
those are the things I gain from. Like, man, I help my cousin out because, like I said, it's tough, bro. Like, people don't understand how easily you could get. I can't curse, but how easy
you
somebody
can
could
curse.
screw
I
you.
don't care.
No, how easy people could screw you over, and
Yeah,
and you know, and I've been there because when I started doing films and started writing, I've been screwed over many times. But it's weird though. I kind of love it because it makes me stronger. But at the same time, yeah, you're right. I don't need no money to gain nothing. I help my cousin that gain that to me I gain everything because I help
yeah,
my cousin out of love. I want to make sure that he's in the right path. I want to sit here and tell you, hey, yeah, like other people, oh, you figure it out. Nah, I mean, I always want to make sure that when you call me, hey, I'm picking up the phone right away to say, okay, hey, go this direction, don't go that direction, and I gain something from that, and I gain your love and respect to know that, hey, if you ever need a cousin or a family member, I'm there. And that's to me, that's the biggest gain of them all.
yeah. No, definitely. And I think also, I mean, you can come at it from a perspective. It's different when because me and you, we're not the business guys. Like we understand there's a businesses, but like we're the creators. We're the creatives, right?
Yeah.
When you see another creative struggling inside, you feel that. You know what I mean? Like I remember being in Nashville when COVID hit and talking to artists after artists where their tours were canceled. And I was like, ooh, I talked to people whose film projects got canceled,
Mhm.
or they got cut off from a role, and I was like, ooh, like you feel that heartbreak with them because as a creative, as a someone who's like as an artist, you know what it's like to put your soul and your energy into something and it not coming to fruition, and I can't think of a more painful feeling in a lot of ways.
It is a painful feeling because you're now all the things you worked hard for is telling you to stop. I mean, by nature, it's God telling you, "Hey, take a break." That's how I look at it. But it is hard, but it's also like for me when it came down to COVID time, and maybe you just said something too. We're not the business guys, but then also too, it gives you the opportunity to learn the business. You
Mm,
may if that makes
yeah,
sense. That's why
definitely.
it's always good to reach out to people who are hurting and try to help them out and say, okay, you may it better than feeling sad that you can't film or better, write something, make your craft better because that's what I did during that time. I made my
Yeah.
craft better, but then I started learning how how to learn the business side of things because the the thing that the people don't teach you is you could have all the creative mind you want, but it has to be still in a business form, which is one of the saddest things of all time because again, you're selling your project, either your film or your play, whatever you want, and people have to market it, people have to sell it. So
Yeah.
you start that is part of your writing. So you're right, it's like, hey, let me, when somebody's hurting, especially during the COVID time, you want to help them out, but also help them out and realize, hey, know that when things are shut down, use it to your advantage. You make sense? Use
Yeah,
it to
100%.
yeah, use it to your advantage. Learn the business, learn the side of it, so you won't get screwed over. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're right.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I think, I mean, there's gonna be, I think you're gonna see now just a new wave of just art and creativity. I think COVID actually, I mean, it sucks for a lot of artists, but I think you're gonna see just a new wave of people creating things in a way that they didn't before. You know what I mean? Like, look how many
Yeah,
people got famous. I don't like TikTok blew up last year. Like, I mean, I knew TikTok was a big deal, but like how many people are like, all right, they're bored. Let's film some goofy shit. You know, let's
yeah.
you
I mean, think
know,
about no, think about it. That just shows you. That just shows if creative. What is you got to answer the question to your head, right? Ask that question to yourself. What is creativity? You know, is it creativity is putting it on a big screen and making money, or you could just get a simple camera and just create 10-second videos and still be famous because that's still creative. Because some of the videos they do, yeah, some of them, yes, they are kind of, but some of
yeah,
them are, yeah, but some of them are kind of good. So it's like you're right. It's like, hey, go out there and do something. Be creative. You know, this has shown us an avenue that it's exploring. Look at even the film business now, how they're going to Netflix. You know, it used to be all about the theaters. Now we're all about Netflix and streaming. So the business is changing if you think about it.
yeah,
So now it's helping you, the artist, to realize I don't need to go to Hollywood. I could have a YouTube page. I could have a TikTok page.
yeah,
I could have an Instagram page, you know, and market myself and do things myself. And that's why it's so good right now. Like we're in the golden era of creativity. You're right. And I'm 100% on what you're saying. We're on that golden train right now. And it's up to jump on board. I mean, we need to stop having the old school mentality of, oh man, got to go to Hollywood and make it and get some agents. Nah, man. The way I look at it is fuck going to Hollywood. Let Hollywood come to you. If you're that creative, you're that good, you know, go do it yourself and make it yourself. Do it yourself.
yeah.
Find ways and means to do it and let people come to you. Build that fan base. I mean,
The- And there's so many mediums out there to get your work across. You know what I mean? Like I never thought when I wrote my movie that that's currently that I'm working on right now. And I'm constantly sending emails back for my producer, so I'm pumped. I can't wait to give more details in the future about that.
mm,
But
mm,
like when I wrote that and then I started acting, and I was like, oh snap! Like I want to do this forever. I never thought about putting on a podcast. You know what I mean? I'm like, I thought that would be a distraction. That would be a waste. And then here I am now. I mean, I just posted a storytelling event in Florida. Just because I could because there's now more ways to express my writing than just getting, like you said, getting in theaters. And don't get me wrong, it is a dream of mine to get a movie that I write in theaters, right? It's like
yeah, of course.
keep the dream alive, but like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
like
got
there's
you got
things.
you got to you're on the right path. It's the same thing with me. It's like, do we want to be on top? Of course. Who doesn't?
Yeah,
We'd be lying if we think we saying, oh, you know, but at the same time, the point is not to rush it. The point is to work on it and build a name. And I mean, it's like me, for example, with my play that's out. I know I built the name for myself because I was Hector with the theater company that I always been loyal to, called Lab Theater Project. Was I was a guy who was learning backstage, sweeping, you know, working lights, sound, and I got that for being that guy. They're saying, "Yo, man, this guy's a hard worker. You know, he's always there early, leaving the actors quiet. You know, he's paying attention, writing shit down, taking notes that I don't even have. Nobody's not telling me to give me notes. And by slowly but surely, you build a buzz by that. Just like what you're doing, you're building the buzz. People know you. So when your project comes out, that's it. People jump to it. And so far, like with my play coming out, we're becoming we're getting a lot of good buzz right now for it. We
yeah, I'm
got
seeing that. Congrats.
yeah. I mean, we talk about it in a minute, but the whole point is that, like you said, it's time to you got like you said, we talking on the golden train of creativity. It's also too, like you said, market yourself, doing things. You know, what other avenue? Expect you are the brand. I always tell people that you
Yeah,
are a brand. You know, you're doing a podcast. Do the podcast. It's gonna be. in the beginning, everything is tough, but the more you do it, the more people gonna love it. You know what I mean? People always love content. People always love films. Like even with my YouTube channel, it's growing. I mean, the subscribers is going up by the minute. The views is going up by a minute. Why? Because we always keep putting out content. Well, now it hasn't because it's been on a standstill. But still, once
Yeah,
they
yeah,
see,
yeah.
once they see a crap load of content, they're like, oh, they can always click on it better than having 3 videos, and people will always appreciate that. And like you said, you're on the right track. That's why I got to give you your flowers for it, because you're doing more than what you have to. You're not settling it down, and that's good, because you have to make a name for yourself. It's like I'm Marvin Melendez, the writer, the actor, the poet. That's going to
Yeah.
make you. That's going to give you a fan base. That's going to make you like, hey, I got a play coming out, because you live in Sarasota, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like, hey, I'm in the Sarasota theater. Oh, I'm there. We're going. Oh, I got a film
Yeah.
coming out. Let's watch it. And that's how you build your name for it, by hard work, dedication, and also expanding your brand and doing things in different avenues.
Yeah, definitely. Yo, let's talk about your play. All right. So the Wendy House, right?
Mhm.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about it. So, because I remember you were working on this for a minute. Like I think I saw you. We had lunch. You remember? I remember we met up at Chipotle, and you told me you
Yeah.
were writing a play.
It was on
But I
Super
was
Bowl
like,
Sunday.
it was Super Bowl Sunday. I didn't even remember what game was that. That was something like
I know,
three,
I
four
know,
years ago.
I know. It was the Falcons and Patriots game.
Falcons and Patriots, and that's when the Falcons won, like at the last second, right?
No, it's when the Patriots came up. That the Falcons were winning, but the Falcons of the second half blew it. I lost a lot of
Okay, yeah, yeah,
lost a lot of money on that game.
yeah.
I
But
think
yeah, man. But all right, so let's talk about it. You were there. You had that. What year was that? That was like 5 years ago.
yeah, like 3, 4 years ago. Yeah, I've
Three,
been
4 years ago.
I've been doing this play for 6 years. 6 years of rewrites, draft, and but also a lot of mentorship. So I'm
Yeah.
grateful for that. I really am.
All right. So what is the play about?
Oh, the play is about, okay. So it's well, I'm going to tell you the play is about escapism. The play is about facing your past head on, and what do you do when facing the past. So I have this story about how my main character Sebastian is coming back to bury his foster dad, and he's haunted by his past, and his dad partner, um because they're cops, sorry, I forgot to mention that, he
Yeah.
wants to solve a cold case that my main character was in, and they all meet up in the Wendy house that reveals the truth. So I don't want to give it up too much, but that's what
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
The play is a tough, it's a very meaningful play. It's about escapism, about what do you do in times of drama, of hard times, and like in this case, this play has a lot of Peter Pan theme, but it's not Peter Pan. Makes sense. So when
Yeah.
people see, that's the most greatest compliment I get. It's like, man, it's a roller coaster, because it starts off like sad, and then you see these kids who are Wendy and the Lost Boys, and then when you see them, you're just thinking, oh, this is Peter Pan theme. But then when it takes that dark turn, you're like, oh, okay, now we know. And that's what I'm very proud of. But yeah, it's about facing escapism, and when you go through a hard time, what could distract you? I know when I was a child and growing up in the Bronx, when things were rough, I wish there was a Neverland. So that's what was part that I used. I had a horrible past, so what do you do when you have a horrible past? When it's faced to you, you got to change, and that's what this play it's really about. Is about facing. I know I'm probably repeating 20 times a time over
Yeah.
and over, but yeah, it's one of those things where I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of the critics that has come out and said things, but if you was to sum it up, it's a play about escapism and facing your past head on.
Yeah, man. That's what's up. I mean,
Hmm.
you've been getting a lot of positive feedback on the play too, so I mean that just comes from hard work. I mean, so you said you wrote it. is it based off of like your life, or is your life like is this like more like an analogy of your life?
Okay,
That
so
makes sense.
basically, so okay, yeah. So I will tell you how the story came about. So it's going to take a dark turn right now. So basically, I was working at the time in Budweiser. I was cleaning bottles for a living, and I was listening to one of my favorite songs of all time, which is Nirvana, All Apologies. And I was thinking about a girl standing at the edge. A vision came to me of a girl standing at the edge of the bridge, just screaming to the world how sorry she is for being her and how, she's being a bully victim, and she's ready to jump. But before she makes that jump, she's scared to jump. She figures, hey, what can help her get to that push? So she thought about flying to Neverland. And I thought about this for like days. I'm like, man, what's this girl's about? And I realized, I realized about my past. I basically, as writers, you don't want to put too much of your past in it, and that was why it took so many years to build, because you have to create a story and you have to give characters life. Makes sense.
Yeah,
So in the first drafts, I try to put a lot of my life or situations about my life, and it was different. But then when my mentor Owen J. Robinson, who Lab Theater Project, who is a theater company in Tampa, who helped me, who stuck by me for 6 years, and we still are doing it together. Who taught me how to write scripts? Who taught me who put me into other programs called, they have this writing program called Greenlight Project Greenlight, sorry, where you be with other published writers that
yeah,
do other great work. So I entered that program, and of course they always teach you, besides doing a story within the three acts in a three-act structure, but also trying to give life to these characters. And so no, so yeah, I try to use, it's not based on my life, but I use parts of my life. I will not tell you what is and what isn't part of my life, because of course you gotta. I mean, even when people ask me, I'm like, well, it's up to you to think. I don't want to, tell you guys, but it was that journey of my mentor telling me like, hey, you're preaching too much. We need to stop preaching. You're being very expository. Stop it. Give these characters life, get them meaning. And when it's time to hit them with the hard stuff, or what you think you need to hit them, that's fine. We gotta hit them. But for now, get these characters life. And it was hard for me because, of course, these kids, the characters, some of these characters I have are 10-year-olds, so it was hard.
so you got kids acting in the play.
Not really kids, but adults playing as kids.
Interesting, bro. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see this.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say, let me know. I pay for you, man.
Oh man, I appreciate that. Yeah, man. I know. Uh, actually, my wife and I were just talking about it like an hour ago. So yeah.
Hmm.
So when so we'll try to head up there soon. Because
Yeah.
I'm not far from you right now.
No, you're an hour away. That's like
Yeah.
well, I don't. Well, you're an hour and something away, because I know where Sarasota, because with my job I do all routes everywhere
Oh,
from.
really?
Yeah, I go. The farthest I go to is what? That's something lake. What you
Oh,
live in?
Lakewood Ranch.
Yeah, like we're all that. I do
Yeah.
all that. Yeah, but yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So yeah. So trust me, I can't wait. I don't want to give away too much of it. It's hard to talk about it because it's like
Yeah.
it's hard, and I had to learn. But you see, and I think it's gonna be. It's like I said, we got Creative Loaf. Tampa Creative Loaf gave us a amazing review, and Theater Tampa Bay gave us 2 thumbs ups. I have got another review from a guy who does Facebook reviews. He gave us, and so it's growing, man. It really is.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. Yo, yeah, I mean it's funny because I could see the urge in you to tell everything because like as a writer, we have this urge. Like I know if I'm doing poetry, right? I want to stand on stage. I want to tell you everything about the poem, how I constructed it, why I constructed it that way, and then deliver the piece. But it's
Yeah.
just one of those things as writers that we gotta learn is just to let it sit for itself, man. Let the art
Yeah,
speak for itself.
Well, see, this is the funniest joke I always tell people. It's like I'm not a good pitcher. You know,
Yeah.
I honestly, I could tell. That's why we explain things like, but then we get lost in translation because we say too much. But yeah, it's one of those things where I tell people like, you got to go watch it to explain it. But I could give you a little bit of it.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. You're not acting in it though, are you?
No, no,
Why not? I can tell you this much, man. If I'm not starring in it, you better believe if I wrote it, I'm in it.
really,
Like,
I can't do it, dude. I just can't. I mean, I just realized like how painful it is, to
yeah,
because you when you trust me when you see it. I tried that one time where I wrote my own stuff, and then when I finally got it, I said, man, I'm like, even I have a hard time projecting my own lines. I just for me, okay, to boil it down with shit, there's no greater joy to see somebody working hard for your shit. You know what I mean? Like the actors
yeah,
who play in the Wendy House, there is no greater joy to see them really put their heart and soul into this work that you build and giving your characters life. It's like, oh my God, it's like one of the greatest feelings. It's like, wow, of course the greatest feeling for me is my son being born, but still
yeah,
the just just the whole fact that like, holy shit, they really pouring their hearts out. And the main character, one of the main characters, Zach, I mean, everybody. I mean, Zach to Emma, everybody. These are the characters. Not there's their real
yeah,
names, but they're just killing it. And it's to the point where I'm just like, like, and
yeah,
that's the greatest joy to me. I used to be having that mentality, like, hey, I gotta be in it, but then I was like, take a seat back, bro. Do that. Take a seat. Take a seat back, and what like do like a little play or something, and you'll see how cool it is to see somebody take your words into their own world. You know what I mean?
yeah. I think the difference for me though is I'm really controlling, right? So like,
Yeah.
I met with two of my actors, and I do get that feeling because I remember we were doing a read through. I was one of the girls was auditioning for the part, and so I had her sit down with another actor, and I wasn't in that scene. But
Hmm.
I remember I had, and this is why I don't ever want to direct because I feel like as an actor, I want my directors to just let me do my thing. You know what I mean? Like I want the freedom. But as like someone who's sitting in like that the writer side is like, hey, say it exactly like this. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
there we go. That's I struggle with that. Like I feel like which is why like I mean I never want to be credited as a director on anything. No, not that way.
The directors, I done directing, and then directing is letting somebody go. It's never telling somebody how to act. I always tell
Yeah,
people,
I don't think I can do that.
no,
Like
no,
that's why I don't
no.
think I would be a good director.
Well, if you have to tell somebody how to act, then they're not supposed. Then they need to go back to acting school. You
Yeah,
when they do an audition, look, they're auditioning for the role. Your job is did they sell you on their acting skills and how they take this character from your script and how they can make it alive. Your
yeah,
job is basically to tell them how to do movement because we're especially in film, you're doing it all in a reticular space, so you have to make sure that hey, they're just it's all about moving and blocking. Yeah, once in a while you may tell somebody, hey, can you say this with rage or can you tone it down a little bit? But as far as acting now, I think
yeah.
if you had to tell somebody how to act, then that's a problem.
And to be
That
clear, what I told her was like as a because she had only had one slide,
yeah.
right? So like I was like, hey, listen, like I didn't like I exaggerate when I'm like say it like this, but no, I was like, hey, do me a favor, slow it down and uh like pretend like you don't want anybody to know that you're upset, right? And she's like, okay, got it. And when she did it, she crushed. She absolutely murdered it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, all right, so like, no, I think you're right. I mean, especially I don't know, being on the other side, acting on it. It's like you don't want to. I want to know that. Like I remember doing a play, and right before my director was writing down a blocking note, right,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
so she saw it, But before she even finished writing down, I already did the move. And she's
Mhm.
like, "Hey, why'd you do that?" I was like, "I don't know." She goes, "Good, because I wrote down for you to do that. That was gonna be
Yeah.
my next note." I was like, but like, yeah, it's one of those things, man.
No,
I
no,
think,
I get what you're saying because, like I said, I'm still there. I see that, I see how, like you say, sometimes an actor could pick it up, could feel if you're in submersive in that world, then you already know what to move, how to do it, and sometimes you can make a director job very easy. Sometimes it's also looking within the text. It's also trusting the actor within the text and saying, hey, how do you interpret this character? What's the thing that they always teach you in acting school? What is your want?
yeah,
What the character want? What is his subjective? What is his super subjective? What he wants in the scene? You know, then show that. Show me what he wants. And then of course, if the director thinks that you a little bit too much, and then of course it's never about acting. So you have to tell somebody how to act. Please fire them. I mean, it's no,
yeah,
because
man.
it's true.
But it's
Because
also hard as an actor, though. All right, let's talk about the acting perspective, because sometimes, man, like some characters are just easy to figure out. You know what I mean? Like I played some characters where
mhm,
there wasn't much. I remember the first time I did my very first acting gig. I had no acting experience, so the director kind of had to coach me up a little bit. You know what I mean? She
mhm,
kind of had
yeah,
to like, I hadn't been to acting school. I didn't even know I wanted to act. I was like, I just want to test it out to see if I liked it.
yes,
So
same
she
here.
was very much like, she's like, hey, let's find this emotion. Let's do this, right? Now by the end, I was like, I felt like I did all right. But like I remember the next time, the same director casted me in another play, and she didn't give me any notes. Now one, because like the characters, I remember when I watched the play, I looked at the character and I was like, oh, that's me on paper. So I told my wife, I was like, babe, I gotta play this part.
Mhm.
And I called the director. I was like, hey, I want that part. And she goes, Marvin, you're too young for the part. I was like, I know, but like, let me
Mhm.
do it. And she goes, show up to auditions. And then I wound up getting it. But like, it's just easier. You find that rhythm easier. You know what I mean? You find it, some
Mhm.
characters just easier to figure out the rhythm.
No, you're right. There's some characters that it's easy. That you could look at that you look at it and say, hey, I want that. And there's also some characters that it's hard. Trust me, I think that the best thing about what I'm doing with Lab Theater Project here in Tampa is that we always do new work. So
Yeah.
I love seeing the actors come in there with a new challenge. Not something that like you could do like for example, you did Sylvia, right? You
Yeah.
know how you know how many people done Sylvia? You could look up Sylvia
Yeah.
and think, oh yeah, the dog. Someone could just a person as a dog. And just like, I'd done that, I'd seen that play, I worked on that play.
It's a
But
fun play though.
it is. So but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They, but there's there's some plays that could really take you to your element, and I think those are the best ones. Those are the best ones. And you're right. There's some that you could look at it and say, "Hey, look, I can nail this scene," and someone say, "Okay, you could do it," and give you the shot, and you do it. And there's some that will really test you to your breaking point, that you just gotta know how to slow down or what you're doing. But yeah, the acting side is tough.
How is it hard to watch your play?
It's hard to watch a play.
Is it hard to watch your play, the one you wrote? Is it hard to watch somebody else?
What do you mean? I mean, watch a character play my play, or me
No,
watch it.
like I can tell you this right now. I've never seen anything I've acted in, nor will I. And when my movie comes out, I'm not gonna watch it.
You got to do it. Well, that's
Right?
well.
I can tell you,
Wait,
I'm
wait, come
not
on.
watching it.
What, unless you have the Johnny Depp syndrome, which is basically you don't want to watch yourself. But no, like me, that's what I'm saying is different, right? I could watch actors do my playing, like the actors do my playing. I'm comfortable with it. Well, don't get me wrong. Was I nervous? Absolutely, because again, you want actors to make you want the words to come out of their tongue normally, like if people will tell you. You don't want nobody
Yeah.
to say, "I went to the park." It's just like those type of stuff that you're just like that you just want to make sure that whatever they're saying is coming out their tongue really good, really flow fluently. But yeah, I could watch that. Watching me act, I'm there with you. Sometimes I don't want to watch myself, but sometimes I'm like, I have to watch myself to make sure, So
Yeah. I just trust my director's notes and trust my like I bring people around me that like will keep me in check. Like, hey, you definitely sucked in that scene. You know what I mean? Like, I trust that. But
that's hard, dude. That's hard. That's a matter. I honestly, I don't. You, me personally, I don't listen to nobody but me, and I hope that's not.
that's some Kanye West shit right there.
No, it's. Think about it. It's like somebody's telling you you suck, but you might really do good. So why are you listening to that person? You got to focus on yourself and your character. You get what I'm saying? I've been in a
Yeah.
situation. I've been in a situation where somebody said, man, you shouldn't have done that," and in acting class. And then next thing you know, I don't do it, and my acting teacher says, What happened? Why you didn't do what you did?" I said, "Oh, I thought it was bad." I didn't say it was bad. Did anybody say it was bad? You get what I'm saying? So what's bad to somebody might be good to somebody. So it's really like having the confidence to just go out there. Don't worry about if you did good or bad.
What
Honestly.
I can tell you this: I won't
Mhm.
watch my movie. I don't watch I don't like watching me act because for two reasons. One, usually by the time I can watch it, the
Mhm.
production's already done, so I can't fix anything. Like I watch my stand-ups, I watch my poetry again because I can fix it the next time I perform. But acting, you get one shot, that's it. But like my movie, the one I wrote, the reason why I can tell I'm never watching that is because I know what it looks like in my head. I know what the script says. To
Mhm.
me, I look at this and I say like, yo, I created something really special here.
Mhm.
And the fear of it not living up to my expectations or living up to the hope that is in my mind, that's what scares me the most.
Do you know what though? I get what you're saying, right? And but I'm gonna tell you something with the Wendy House, right? When I wrote the Wendy House, and when I saw it in rehearsal, I never had an expectation, believe it or
Mm,
not, because I believe in destiny. I believe that I believe that you gotta let destiny take its course, if that makes sense, right?
yeah.
So it's like for me, it's like it. Your best thing to do is just say the word, make sure they're saying the words, or make sure you did the best fucking job of a lifetime. Because if not, you know, you're gonna kill yourself thinking, "Oh man, I should have done this, I should have done that." And I learned that from another mentor when I was in the project. I mean, Green Light project. I keep saying it backwards. Project Green Light. When I was working with another writer who was helping me, he says, "You just gotta let the words go, man." Because I was talking the same thing that you were, the exact same thing, like expectations, fall back. He's just like, "Yo, just let it go, just let it go. Let them take your words into a whole different stratosphere." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let that world you create take it to no, because it could be beyond your wildest dreams. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Like when I wrote like, okay, there's scenes in the Wendy House that, you know, the director took a whole different life on it, and I
Mm,
was like, he read the words and took it to a whole nother level that I didn't imagine. So it's like, to ease your pain, it's like sometimes you could do a scene that you thought, oh, it's supposed to be serious, but could end up funny, or something that's funny that can end up serious, or you can have a
yeah.
scene, a moment that you don't even know that like that could could be very significant to the story. Like, yo, I love that scene between you and that girl, especially how, because it just showed that you and her are arguing, and that's it leads up to the end, and you're saying to yourself, I didn't thought about that, but yeah, I take it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're like, I take it, I take it, like my homegirl, Gretchen Sawyer Pena would tell me, she's like, I take it. She's a writer.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Well,
Yeah,
listen, I am beyond proud of you. I mean, I know I talked to my parents the other day. I know they're proud of you. The whole family is cheering for you, man. You know, you put in the work. You got to play in production. You got actors. You got a director. You got
mhm.
it's in theater, man. And it's yeah. I mean, I want you to be real proud of yourself. You know, you put in. I know the work you put in. I know you changed titles a couple times. You know, like I know
Did
the
I
work you put in.
did I did I did I
So
change time?
I mean, I would love to see like the very first draft you wrote, and then see the now project, and see, and I am sure it's almost a whole different piece, but like I'm real proud of you, man. I want you to know that,
No,
so
I thank you, man. You know what though, I'm real more proud of you. I love how you out there doing your thing. You're out there making your film, getting stuff. I mean, there's things that you're doing that I won't have balls enough to do. I know. I'll be honest with you. I can't. There's some things that you're doing. I was saying that to my dad who was here. I said, yeah, there's things he's doing that I don't have the balls to do. So I mean, yeah, I write and I besides theater and like the films, I'm an indie guy. I always been an indie guy, and that's tough. I mean, that was always been tough on me to be. I mean, that's because I'm around indie people. So it's like here my environment that I'm with a lot of indie people that you got to put in your own work. But with you, like the people, the connection. Hey, I got this, I got the production. So and still continuing to do it, and still like you got to you not that long here in Sarasota, and then next hey, I'm doing a poetry night. Like, God, damn, golly, he made his mark real fast. You get what I'm saying? Like you put in the
yeah,
work. So, but I just think that's the Melendez instinct in us, right? That
yeah,
we just want to go. Like if you talk to another hard work, another like if you want to talk about real creative too, Adriana Melendez of an
yeah.
whoo, that girl's a hustler.
Yo, I gotta check. I mean, I don't know if I say this on podcast. I don't even know if we've met. Like
Do it. I mean, do it. It's like that. That's a beautiful thing, bro. Like when I learn about this is the only good thing about Facebook, right? Like my life has never been good, right? And
yeah,
we could talk about like either here, there, now, whatever. Whenever that could be another 5-hour podcast.
yeah, for real.
But when I reconnected with family member, and I started realizing, okay, you love theater. Adriana loved theater. Lil, Lil, Lillian, yeah, Lillian, who's in California, who worked for ABC, getting her Grammy. There's people who doing. There's Miguel. A lot of people. Miguel who does arts, Puerto Rican arts. And then he does big. So you start connecting with family members, and it's like taking that leap of faith and just saying, "Hey, what's up?" And it's like, "Hey, oh, okay, And there's one thing about the Melendez that I would say here. And I don't want to turn this whole podcast about the Melendez. It's one thing about us that we're always open arms, right? I
yeah,
never see I
for
never
sure.
see one Melendez that says no, leave me alone. All of us from Pepe to we always as soon as you call, we pick up the phone. How you doing? Tell me about yourself, and we talk for like 15 hours, like it was like we just saw each other yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
that's one
sure.
thing. Yeah, that's one thing. Like I haven't seen your sister in a while, but when I go to Miami and I say what's up to her, it's like I was there yesterday or last. You know what I'm saying? So that's the
Yeah, it's all family. It's all family.
it's all family. Like I said, so like yeah, just go out there and talk because she has stories, man. She used to. You talk about grind. She worked in the industry and she's now doing her thing. But and like I said, I'm try to do something with her and hopefully try to do something with you in the near future
Yeah,
to do.
man. For
You
sure,
know.
man. I'll keep you updated as more projects come along. Actually, I do want to talk to you about when we get off this podcast. I'm gonna talk to you about a project I'm thinking about. But yeah, man. So real quick before we wrap up, let's plug your. Where can people go see the One Day House?
So the Window House, if you go to www.labtheater.com, they're right there. You can buy your tickets. It's
And are they still streaming?
yes. So you have three options now, right? You can watch it in person, 20 seat capacity. That's if you're in Tampa and want to go watch it live. You can watch it live stream, meaning it's on whatever. Let's say if you watch, let's say tomorrow you want to watch at 8 o'clock at night, it's going to be there. And now next week we're doing something that's really cool, which is called the on demand thing. It's on demand, meaning let's say like Lillian, who's in California, right?
Yeah,
She can't, the time difference to watch the Wendy House is at 8 o'clock, so that's 4 o'clock Eastern for her. So she can't
yeah.
watch. So now, if she orders the on demand, whatever she gets off of work, she could watch it. It allows you,
Nice.
yeah, it allows you to watch it on your own time, only for a week only. After that, after the third week, they're not doing it no more. It makes sense. So it's like something that we have to
Yeah.
tell. that we have to tell people like, hey, that it's only available on the third week, still with the live streaming. But if you're but after past that week, it cuts it cuts off.
Yeah, gotcha.
But tickets are selling really, excuse me, really good. Um, I know my teacher told me one day he sold out. I'm like, that's what she said. I'm like, okay, that's fine, all right.
All
So
right.
I don't think it's this week. I don't know. They keep those. Well, it's not my business to know because I don't run the theater. Like I said, I sell
Yeah.
it. You sell it.
they,
You
they got
promote.
it.
Yeah, they got. That's the business side of it. And like I
Yeah.
said, but yeah, I mean, you tune in, watch it. Also too, I want to plug in some things if is it right cool with you,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm really loyal to the theater company. The theater company also provide acting classes, and they also provide, if you're a young aspiring writer, it's called Project Greenlight. That's the same thing that helped me elevate this script to its final stage. Is basically it's you and other writers. you you're learning from all the great writers. This you're in according to Zoom class with other writers, and you write off your ideas. Everybody's just pitching you ideas. Everybody's just helping you with your story, and then towards the end, then you pair off with a mentor, and you work with a mentor who's in the business right now, or who's either in play or films. And we have had that. My mentor, he AJ, he owns a theater company, and he also has some published work. So he helped me a lot how to do the Wendy House. I mean, the final stages of the Wendy House. So
Yeah.
yeah, those are things available if you want to be a writer. That I think that yes, go out there and take advantage of what they're doing. I'm a prime example. I'm a very prime sample because I've been with them for 6 years. They could have just
Yeah.
said they could have said to me, hey, no, look, we don't want you because you don't know shit. But they just kept on and say, nah, let's keep working with you. And I and for their service, I sweeped, I mopped, I did all that stuff, and then we'll come back with paper. Okay, back again, write it. Like it was tough, dude. It was like they put me
Yeah.
through. They're like, okay, I got this. Okay, back again. You like I'll get the circles like like okay. You think I
Yeah,
did
man.
something good? So yes, so that's something that I really want to express. I want to plug that in if I could. I mean, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
absolutely. Yeah, man.
I
Well,
recommend you. I recommend you do it too, man. Get some
yeah,
writers, man.
I'd love to check it out, man. Yeah, we'll talk more, man. I'm stoked.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyways, from my listeners out there, be sure to like, comment, subscribe to this podcast, share with your friends, and follow me on Instagram at the only Marvin GM. Follow the podcast at All My Friends Talk.
That's
And
right.
yo, Hector, we out, man.
We out, baby.